Question number 23. We are told the shaded region on the graph below shows a piece of land ABCD earmarked for building a sub-county hospital. So we have our graph there showing the area ABCD. Part A of the question says write down the coordinates of curves AB and DC. X is equals to 0, 200, 400, 800, and so on. So what we do, let's say this is our X, and we start with 0. We go to 200, then we go to 400, we go to 600, we go to 800, we go to 1000, and finally we have 1200. So we look at the line DC. So let's start with DC. So the value of X when X is 0 with DC is 380. When it is 200, we have it is 500. When it is 400, we have it is 580. When it is 600, we have 600. When it is 800, we have 580. You are reading that from the graph. When it is 1000, it is 580. And when it is 1200, it is 640. So we are reading these values. Let me show you what we have done here. So these are the values that we are reading. That is 400, 0, 200, 400, and so forth. From there, we read the values of AB. That is where we have the line AB. So at 0, if you check here, it is at 200. So this is 200. At 200, we have 240. Then we have at 400, we have 280. At 600, we have 300. At 800, we have 280. At 1000, you have 240. And finally at 1000, we have 200. So those are the ordinates, the value of y at x is equals to 0, 200, and so forth. So that is how you write that. With that, you get 2 marks. We go to part B. We are told to use trapezium rule with the 6 stripes to estimate the area of the parcel of land ABCD in hectares. So what we need to do here is to get the area below AB, and we subtract from the area below DC. That will be able to give us the area. So what we do, let's calculate the area under A. So I hope you remember the formula for calculating the area using the trapezium method. We say area is equals to, so we say area is equals to, we say it is a half. You multiply by the height. In this case, the height is 200. That is 200 minus 0 is 200. 400 minus 200 is 200. Then we put into bracket. What we get here is, because we are starting with the row 1, we take the last ordinate and the first and the last. So here we have the first is 200 plus the last is 200. That is the area under AB. We put the bracket. Then here we say add. We add the other ordinates. And the other ordinates, we have the second one. After 200 is 240. So we write 240. We add to 280. We add to 300. We add to 280. We add to 240. You close the bracket and close the other bracket. So you can work out this using your calculator. You divide 200 by 2, and that will give you 100. So you have 100. Then you are supposed to 200 plus 200, you get 400. Then you say plus. When you add these other values, you'll be able to get 2,680 using your calculator. 80. So when you compute that using a calculator, you'll be able to get 30,800. And this is a meter squared. So that is how you get the area. Then we get the area under DC, so that we subtract. So we can do it here and say, so we can do it down here. We call that area 1. This we can call it area 2. We use the same formula but different values, so that remains. That is 200. We put a bracket. The last one is the first one is 380 under DC, so we have 380 there. The last one is it is 640, so we add 640. You put the bracket there. Then you add here we are supposed to, we are multiplying by 2. Forgot that. So there we get 2. We put the other values. So this will be after 380 we have 500. Then we have plus 580. Then we have plus, we have 600. Then we have plus 580. Then we have another 580, and we close the brackets. The other one we had already dealt with in the first piece. So I want to go ahead into details of working that. You will use your calculator to compute that, just like we have computed the first one, and you'll be able to get this is 100, then into bracket 380 plus 640, that will give you 1020. The other one you add, when you add the others, you get 5,680, and when you compute that, you get 670,000, and this meters squared. So that is the area of under DC, and therefore we can be able now to get the area under between AB and AD. So area of the land, we can say area of land is equals to, now we take the area under B is 670,000. We subtract the area we found under D, which was 30,800. When you subtract that, you get, this is equals to 362,000, and 1,000 is 1,000 meters squared. And we know to make since we are told to express in hectares, to make these hectares, we divide by 10,000 to make them hectares. So we divide by 10,000, and this you'll be able to get the area is 36.2 hectares. So that is the area when we use a trapezium method. But say we are supposed to use a mid-ordinate rule with 3 stripes to estimate the area of the piece of land. So you can see here, we can come here and subdivide. The 3 will be up to 400, 800, and 1,200. So it means that the mid-ordinate will be those ones at 200, 600, and 1,000. So we'll be able to get the area. So let's go ahead and do that. So when it comes to part C, using the mid-ordinate, we can get the area. We get the area under DC. and we subtract the area and AC. So we'll say, hope you remember the formula. We say it is the height. We put the bracket with we add the mid ordinate, because we are using 3 stripes. We are going to add the mid ordinates at 200. So if you check at 200, we have 500 for under DC. So we come here and say this is 500. Then we add at 600. We have it is 600. Then we have at 800. We add to 580. So that is the area under DC. We subtract the area under AB, so it's 400. You close the bracket, you open the bracket here. We add the mid ordinate at 200, which is 240, and then we add at 600. We are getting 300. Then we add at 800, which is giving us 800. We are getting 200, and we are getting at 800, no, 1000. We are getting 240. So we are getting 240 at 1000, which is at, is it I think we should take, yeah, 280. Let's correct that. So when you compute that, this is 280. Close the bracket. Use your calculator to compute that. You'll be able to get 376,000. These are meters squared. You divide by 10,000 to make them hectares. So that will go with that. So we will have 3.7, not 3.7, but 37.6. 37.6. That will be the area which we have approximated using. So this is 37.6, and these are hectares. So that is how you work out that question. And you did this in approximation of area before you did integration, which is also a method that we use to get the area. So I hope you have followed. You need to master the 2 methods, that is the trapezium rule and the mid ordinate rule, which you learned in approximation of area.